Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, peeplings, earthlings everywhere. Hope you're all having a fabulous day. Thank you very much for liking and subscribing and coming to join me. I think I might have solved a mystery. I think I know what's going on with Meghan and Harry at the moment. In the meantime, there's somebody out there with a grey tweed sofa with a big Meghan-shaped hole in the middle of it. I've never actually seen a cocktail dress made out of tweed before. When I first saw it, I thought it was kind of sparkly silver. But then I had another look and I thought, well, what's going on here? What is going on here? Very unusual fashion choice. I thought that her shoes looked really too high for her. It reminds me of when little girls dress up in mummy's shoes. There's something odd going on there. Anyway, the page 6 article. Let me see if I've got it up here. So I've got it somewhere here. Well, I'll just Google them, and I think it's the top one, and we can just to see how they worded it, because here we go. Meghan Markle, page 6, the latest. Yeah. Date night at members only hotspot. And this is being New York. And there's these pictures of Harry. He couldn't look more miserable if he tried. It's so predictable that they would do this, isn't it? We're so in love. We're so in love. We're not getting divorced. Because, I mean, even in his interests, he wouldn't want it to be public knowledge, I don't suppose, because as soon as people get wind of that, you know, then they're going to really know they're on the, well, she'd definitely be on the downsies, won't she? But I mean, he hasn't managed to get his foot back in the door yet, has he? But how did they word it? Meghan and Harry enjoyed a romantic date night at Chez Margot in New York City at the weekend. Now, I think this is part of the Soho House group. It said, I've Googled it and it says it's not. But I also found another article on Soho House, which from a few months ago, saying they're reducing their members because they want to make it more elite. In other words, people are leaving. They're not interested, so they're sort of rebranding, I suppose, or trying to tart themselves up a bit. But how did they put it? They said they were like all giddy or something. Let me find wording. Project Healthy Mind, good grief. I think they've taken the wording out, but they said something like they were giddy. They were giddy. I might have to go look at my own. I'll have to go look at my own X account, because I'm sure I used their wording, but I think they might have. I think they might have changed it now. All right, let's have a look. It's my latest tweet. No, it's not there either. I'm wondering if they've taken the words out. They said something like it wasn't romantic. It had different wording when I saw it. Well, early hours of this morning. It said that they were really, really happy or giddy or something like that. And I thought, my goodness me, if that's giddy, I'd hate to see them depressed. I mean, they have got faces of thunder. The rare smiles that they've got in the photographs, they are struggling, really struggling to muster up as much of a smile as they possibly can. And I mean, that tweed number, I don't understand where she's coming from. And then the lady, so you get on the lady in the background behind them. Is that Harry's stalker? Harry's going to claim it's his stalker, isn't he? And he's going to say, oh, she's followed me. She said, no, Harry, no, your wife's paying her along with all the other sugars. She's using your money. She's using, or it's someone at this. It's a private members restaurant. It's someone at the restaurant who pays through the nose for fine dining there, and he's gone, who the bloody hell let those two in? Talk about lowering the tone. I'm cancelling my membership. Because she looks kind of horrified, doesn't she, that lady? Or is she looking, going, did that chick just come in here in a tweed gown? Tweed? I mean, it's a bold fashion statement, isn't it? It's a bold choice. And I mean, what she appears to be sort of sticking her chest out and arching her back in a very peculiar way. It's almost contorted. And I mean, the shoes, as I say, they're very nice shoes, but they're way too high and they look way too big for her. And the top, I mean, all her bronzer on the top, arms, neck, face, that is really nice. But then you look at her little white feet sticking out underneath the dress. And I mean, it's not like she's going to have a farmer's tan like those peasants of us that have to work hard in the sun. I mean, this is a millionaire. She can afford to sunbathe and uncover her feet. So that is kind of peculiar. And I think that the dress actually makes her look quite chunky, because that black suit she wore to her mental awards, I thought she looked really, really trim in that, really slim. So it's quite weird that she looks quite thick around the middle there, only a day later. And Harry with his white, he's determined he's not going to wear grey. I'm not wearing a grey suit. Because I mean, it just gets a bit ridiculous, doesn't it? The men in grey suits, and there's Harry, only ever wears a grey suit. So he's there in, I think he's got navy with a nice open neck shirt. Yeah, he's oh, and they've been hobnobbing with the various celebrities, haven't they? So that's her fashion thing out of the way. But I mean, this place, I think, I'm sure I read in the Daily Mail it's connected somehow to Soho House. And I looked up something else, because they obviously she has just been in Paris. So I looked up Soho House in Paris, and I had a little scroll down through their pictures, and I came across a familiar face part way down. Don't know if you guys recognise this gentleman. And I think, I could be mistaken, but I think that the Paris Soho House has just opened. It's a new thing. And there's old Marcus. And I looked up Soho House and Paris Fashion Week. And yes, Soho are not sponsors. They're not listed as sponsors or partners. But a lot of parties go on that are connected to the Fashion Week. And they happen at the new Soho House in Paris. Now, I don't know where Harry and Meghan stayed in, or where they are staying in New York. I did, and I looked at the pictures. She stayed in some hotel, didn't she? Or did she stay in some hotel, or did they just rent like a salon for the day for Daniel and all her people, where they could spill out all over the place and make it look like they staged it like it looks like a hotel room, but it isn't actually. Do you see what I mean? You can actually rent a room, a function room for the day in a hotel. So did she do that and then stay at Soho House? Because I mean, so you'll see in a minute, it's going to crop up again. It is going to crop up again. Right, what have I got on my list? Right, now everyone's talking about this. Oh yeah, what was it? The fashion designer, he said he didn't invite her, she just turned up. I believe him. I totally believe him about that. I think she was in Paris because Marcus got her some freebies. Now, I know a lot of people have thought that before, but I think this is a lot more than just Marcus got her a freebie to Paris. I think Marcus is also behind the Mental Health Awards, and because he's going to have connections, the type of people who go in these clubs. And I suspect that when she goes to Washington DC, is it next week? Whether Harry will go or not, that's what everybody's waiting to see. I looked up now this thing she's going to, the 50 most powerful women or superwoman fucking convention or whatever it is. Well, the first thing I looked up is where their venue is, and it's in a hotel called the Salamander. which is very fancy and I think really traditional and has been around a long time. So it's what they would call old money, and really, really fancy, really lovely. It looks kind of Edwardian. Well, I looked up, is there a Soho House in Washington, DC? And what do you know? I mean, again, it says it's not connected to Soho House, but it is. It's called Ned's Club, and it's a private members club. I mean, I don't know. So I looked up directions from Ned's house to the Salamander, and it's a 10-minute walk. So will Marcus be in Washington with her when she goes? Never mind Harry, will Marcus be there? Because now I'm looking at this bigger picture and I'm thinking, well, you know, I've been wondering for a while, where the hell are they going to go? Royal family won't let them in, Hollywood won't let them in, Netflix has pretty much booted them out, Spotify dumped them, they're never going to get rich off Lemonada. Her jam, I mean, it's just not selling, is it? Oh yeah, this Ned's Club, I think it's Ned's Club, they've got edible flowers on the menu. Maybe Megsy does the catering for them, or maybe that's what she's after, catering contract. Yeah, what was I saying? I've forgotten. Oh yeah, so they've got nowhere to go. So from where I'm sitting, and I could be wrong, it looks to me as if she's gone full circle and she's gone right back to Marcus. It's actually Marcus who's arranging everything for them. You know, when you've got nowhere to go, and wasn't that WME, Ari Emanuel, representing her at one point? Well, he hasn't done a very good job, has he? Whereas Marcus has managed to blag her in to the Paris Fashion Week. Marcus is probably the one behind the whatever magazine it is. It's they reckon it's going to be American Vogue. Well, I mean, just because the woman went to meet her doesn't mean she's actually going to agree to do it, does it? I mean, she might. Depends on Marcus, I suppose. Yeah, I wonder if that lady's a member of any of those clubs, or goes to any of those fine dining members only places. I bet there are all sorts of interesting people that go to those clubs. And there's Marcus, the concierge or pimp. I'm using that, you know, loosely speaking. So that's how it appears to me, because there is no money that I can see going into the Harkles. So how are they paying the bills? Or are they paying the bills? Or are they running up debt? And as predicted, no one wants to work with them, so go back to Uncle Marcus. And actually, you know, a lot of the pictures of Marcus, he doesn't look very happy, does he? He actually looks quite stressed and thoroughly pissed off, like Harry. So I wonder, this could be like pulling in the favours, the last of the favours. I mean, what was that Instagram video all about? Who takes that many clothes with them? That is a ridiculous amount of clothes. Who does that? I don't think she's even going to wear that many outfits. What, does a woman change 6 times a day into 6 equally dreadful outfits? Apart from the one at her Mental Awards one, that was all right, with the gold chunky necklace. I quite like that. She should dress like that more often. She always wears solid colours, doesn't she? So yes, you see, I mean, I believe she's tried to go back to suits, and they've said no. I don't even think the series runs anymore, does it? But they were going to make a new one. I reckon she's tried to go back on something like that. And this again is like, throw as much at the wall as possible, and hopefully something will stick. So I mean, she's doing everything, isn't she? She's doing a fashion show in Paris. She's going to see Gloria Steinem. Or she's going to go meet 50 powerful women who I dare say won't have the fucking time of day for her. Can you imagine? Oh yeah, and I looked on their website and it said, we used to choose the top 50 women depending on how successful their businesses are, you know, and how much their turnover is. But we don't do it that way. We model it on a different way now. And I thought, what? So it's not necessarily the most successful women It's just like 50 women you've randomly chosen. And that's how, and I'm thinking, did they have that on their website before? Because apparently they did the 2024 selection with that. Did they do that in 2024? Or have they put that on their website because Megsy's going and they've thought, well, people are just never going to believe that she's a billionaire with her runny jam, that spread, whatever it's called, jam clots. Then people are never going to believe that, and we're just going to look fools. So they've put this sort of cleverly worded paragraph on their homepage about it. Yeah, so this page 6 thing, oh, there's 67 comments. And they go on, I mean, they just repeat things like Prince Harry, you know, he's Prince Harry, his father's the king and his mother was Princess Diana. So, I mean, and they both looked very, very stressed to me. I mean, they look stressed there on their date night. They look very stressed. I mean, they're obviously hard up, and she's ripped the cover off the fucking sofa bed in the hotel, hasn't she, and thrown it round her. Harry looks, well, he looks a little bit, needs a bit of a gold medallion, actually, with a big collar like that. I really do. I feel that this is like a whirlwind tour of the States or something. Is it? Are Catherine and William going to do a tour? Aren't they going to the States at some point? I wonder if that's what this is all about. No, I don't think so. I think these guys have got far, far bigger problems on their plate. They looked very stressed giving their speech about, you know, safety online and all that, when they've contributed to making it a hell of a lot less safe with their Sugars and Sussex squad. They both looked really, really tense. And I don't just think that's because they'd had a row. They both looked tense. And, I mean, imagine the money's running out. The world is watching. The show must go on. They've got to keep putting on a good show. It's a bit like Scarlett O'Hara, isn't it? Where she had to go and visit Red Butler and she didn't have any clothes. And she pulled the curtains down. But I'll wager Vivian Leigh looked a darn sight better than this woman. I mean, sorry, Vivian Leigh wouldn't be buried in something like that. I don't know where she's coming from with that. I reckon that could stand up on its own. Run across the car park. That'll be the next thing, won't it? Car parkles. I was watching an interview with a guy called Morgan. Gary Morgan, I think. He used to be one of the CEOs at Splash News. Now, Splash, they're the ones who've turned up and taken some pictures of her in New York. There's Backgrid as well, but there's Splash. And then there's her own Instagram pictures. And wasn't it Splash that they were suing because I think Harry was going to buy somewhere in the Cotswolds and that was going to be their country retreat. And she clearly didn't want to go stay in the countryside with the sheep and the cow dung. So Backgrid had some drones or something and, oh, it's not safe. They've discovered it. You know, I wonder who leaked that. And then wasn't Harry suing them, or was it Meghan who was suing them or something? But then they continue to turn up and take pictures. Now, I'll put a link to this interview because it's pretty good and it's not had many views. I don't know who the guys are who own the YouTube channel, but they're interviewing basically a retired CEO who used to work for Splash and had worked there for a long time. And they're asking him all the obvious questions like, do celebrities call you up and say, we're going to be at A, B and C? And he said, yeah, that does happen. And he was saying Kim Kardashian was very active back in the day doing that. And he talks about how there is a cooperation between the celebrities, obviously. And now he reckoned that what Kim used to do was she'd make about $100,000 per photograph because she would get a share of whatever they got for the photograph and they would get a share. And he said she would not only get those royalties, if she wore Chanel, then she would get freebies, and Chanel and other companies were sponsoring her. So she was making her money that way. Of course, we all know there's somebody who'd like to earn her money that way. The power of the word yet. It just doesn't happen, does it? Poor Megsy. So I think they're doing a tour of Soho House. And there's a Soho House pretty much in every major city. There's even one in Brighton where I come from. And if Soho House, you know, if Marcus has got clout there, well, they could do a world tour, couldn't they? Pretty much, of all these sleazy joints. I'm sure it's not sleazy. I'm sure there aren't skullduggerous things going on. Has Prince Andrew ever been there, or Epstein, or anyone like that? I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I've never been in any of these places. But I mean, if they can't pay the rent, Marcus can always get them a few places. I think those bungalow things as well, I think they're kind of connected to the Soho group. I mean, they're all pissing in the same pot, aren't they? They're all scratching each other's backs. So I think she's picked up the phone to Marcus and said, we are up shit creek without a paddle, if you'll pardon my French. And we need to put on a good show that everything's okay, because these kind of people, in my experience, when they're really down on their luck, that's when they laugh the loudest. And, oh, we're so happy. We're so happy. And they dress up and they put on a great big show for everybody. It's basically, oh, are things that bad? And I think that she feels she's got to get some money coming in from somewhere. Harry's probably just relieved there's some free drugs and rent-free accommodation. He can just put his feet up 30 fucking seconds. Will he be in Washington, D.C. with the next week? I don't know. I really don't know. But I mean, judging by their date night, their cozy date night, judging by their faces, I wouldn't imagine that they're terribly happy. I mean, they've only been, let's look at it in the grand scheme of things. These guys have only been together about 7 or 8 years. I remember when Graham and I had been together 7 or 8 years. I know people say 7-year itch, but I mean, if we finally got someone to look after the kids and we went out, you know, we would have a laugh and we'd be messing about. I mean, we wouldn't be all uptight like that coming out of the restaurant looking, look at their glum faces coming out of that restaurant. I mean, was it that Harry couldn't pay the bill? Were all his credit cards rejected or something? And what's with the hand in the pocket, Meghan? What are you doing? Scratching your crutch? That's peculiar. She looks really, it just doesn't, that thing doesn't fit her at all. Or is she going to have moon boobs now? I mean, they just don't look happy to me. I'm sure the wording originally on that article was something like giddy teenagers. Oh yeah, they look really giddy. They look so happy, both of them there. Well, anyway, over to you guys. What do you think? It will be interesting to see, won't it? Because this salamander, that's where the 50 powerful women are going to be, who apparently are not necessarily really rich and successful. They're just women, okay? And they're going to be in the salamander. And just happens, Ned's place, or Ned's club, whatever it's called. What a cool name, eh? Ned. Where are you staying? Ned's place. No offence to Aussies. I mean, I love the word Ned, but if you're paying through the nose, what is it, 3-5 grand a year membership, and then you're paying for the accommodation. So Ned's place is a 10-minute walk around the corner. Of course, she won't walk. She won't walk. She'll have a cavalcade, won't she, with all flashing lights and everything. But, well, she will to go there and go back. But then when the cameras are away, when she's not phoning Splash, then I suppose she will be tottering about in her oversized high heels. It's peculiar. I mean, it's one of these stories where I feel, when is this finally going to end? But everybody knows something's up. I think everybody now. I think we're all on board with that, aren't they? The rest of planet Earth is on board with us. We're all on the same page now. Something is, rotten in Denmark. Something funny is going on around here. And it's really just a matter of time. Can you imagine if his credit cards got rejected and he got thrown out the restaurant? Marcus, have you got a spare card we can borrow? Yeah, I mean, it will come to that. Everybody's seen with the York family, this type of thing has happened in the past. It's happened with members of the royal family before. And happened with many before, and they won't be the last. And I reckon these two are going to be on the list. So, and I've been looking up as well fashion events in the UK. There are a few coming up in November. Don't know, I haven't looked in December, but there are a few. There's a day in London, British fashion, I think. There's another event in Manchester. There's an Indian fashion one as well. There's various, and you know Megan, she'll go to the least known because the tickets are cheaper, and she'll meet a load of people that none of us have ever heard of before, so they'll give her freebies, so she highlights it, you know, I suppose. This is bizarre. It's like one of the most bizarre things ever, just watching these two pointless fraggles going on tours, saying pointless things that no one can understand, wearing pointless clothes, staying in pointless places and meeting people no one ever heard of before, apparently, and for no particular reason. So I mean, how much longer can this go on? How much longer can this go on until one of them gives an interview and goes, do you know what, we're fucking skint, we fucked up, we can't get back in with the palace, we're up Jack Street. How long is it going to be? Because that will come. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and may your God be with you.